German AA placements had prevented Allied bombers from striking vital targets in Calabria ahead of the Allied invasion of mainland Italy. We had to find a way to disable them. The enemy built their defenses on the cliffs near the home of my aunt and her family. We had heard nothing from them for months and feared the worst. Even so, as I climbed into position, I held on to hope. The explosion would be big. I rushed to get clear before it went off. One down, two to go. My aunt's house. No longer any doubt about her fate. My family were gone. I swore not a single enemy soldier would leave this place alive.
Er ist da drüben.
Wer zum Meer sein? Seid vorsichtig! Feindliche Granate!
German guns were silenced, the mission complete, but the wound my family suffered endures to this day. With the Allied invasion fleet heading into a trap as they sailed from Sicily towards the mainland, the course of history now rested in our hands. In hindsight, many lives may have been spared if I had failed this mission. At the time, I knew only that I had to rescue my friend. The Nazis would torture and execute any partisans they captured. So when Matteo and his squad failed to return from a reconnaissance mission, Dante sent me to find them. As I scanned the bodies, my heart filled with sorrow for the men I had once fought beside. But there was no sign of Matteo. I had to discover if he was still alive. I had to bring him home. While there was a chance that my friend was alive, I had to keep fighting. Matteo. He was beaten and bruised, but he was still alive. I had to get him out of there. I could see how much pain Matteo was in. What had those monsters done to him? I had to get him home. Nazi reinforcements had arrived. Trapped, we had no choice but to fight our way out. The half-track pressed us back. If we couldn't find a way to destroy it, we would die here. With their armor destroyed, the enemy fell back and we were able to slip away. Matteo was silent as I carried him back to Pazzano. I thought he struggled with the pain of his injuries, but perhaps his pain came from somewhere else. With the Allied invasion fleet heading into a trap as they sailed from Sicily towards the mainland, the course of history now rested in our hands. With the Allied invasion fleet heading into a trap as they sailed from Sicily towards the mainland, the course of history now rested in our hands. Just weeks after rescuing Matteo from the German bunker, his squad was ambushed while on patrol. As our ammunition and numbers dwindled, our hopes began to fade. I joined my comrades, and we prepared for the siege. Matteo wasn't there, and none of the squad knew if he was dead or alive, but at that moment, we had more immediate problems. I had just a few moments to gather supplies before the Nazis renewed their attack. Another wave of Germans surged at us, but now my anger overtook my fear. I would rather have died at that moment than give myself up. I had survived, but all I could think about was whether Matteo had suffered the same fate. No pain yet, but confusion and horror smothered me. Matteo, this can't be. Traitor! The word echoed in my dying mind, and I understood the depth of wound my friend had caused. Pazzano, the attack, our comrades and loved ones, all him. Julia found me on the threshold of death, and in the darkness there a flame of vengeance began to burn. I healed, and yet the scars of betrayal burned in my chest and gut. My father begged me not to go after Matteo, but all I heard was my anger. Only Matteo's blood could bring me peace. I was young and knew nothing. Like a rat, Matteo had taken refuge at the German coastal fort, while in Pazzano mothers wept for their dead sons, men we had known since childhood. My training, stealth, patience gave way to anger as I cut through the Germans to reach Matteo. I had fought my way inside. Now all that remained was to find Matteo and take my revenge. With cold fury, I pinned them down, offering no escape or mercy.
Davon Lärm! Du wirst sterben! Ich
I had fought my way inside. Now all that remained was to find Matteo and take my revenge. I had fought my way inside the Nazi fortress where Matteo had taken refuge. The day would not end with both of us still alive. The blood of our brothers and sisters was on Matteo's hands. Men and women we had known since we were children, all gone because of Matteo's betrayal. There was no way I could search that whole base alone, and I knew the Germans could not afford to lose Matteo or what he knew about the partisans. I had to find a way to flush him out, and that way was death. They tried to get Matteo away from me, desperate and futile. The Germans had taken the bait as they tried to evacuate Matteo, but they had succeeded only in walking into my trap. The enemy had surrounded me. The only way out now was through them. The cellars and tunnels had no end. I saw Matteo's face in every shadow. The place was a maze. Death around every corner.
Ich konnte nichts finden.
My father was right. Matteo's death did not heal the wound of his betrayal. Instead, it was as though that fatal bullet had killed something inside of me, too. The Germans now had a new enemy to fear. I had become an unseen bringer of death, merciless, uncompromising, deadly. After that day, the Axis soldiers named me the Spectre. We were becoming a hardened force, mobile, adaptable, deadly. We had been forged in the flames of war, and as our confidence grew, we began to strike harder at the very heart of the enemy.